Hey guys, this is John Lorenzo, youth pastor at Grace City Church, and we're here for part 4 of our series called The Basics, going over simple things that will help build your youth ministry's culture. And for part 4 today, I'm really excited. I brought in my friend Matt Bufolko, who oversees all of our middle school campus ministries. Matt, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, we're here talking to the heroes of the youth ministry world, people that are trying to reach middle school students. Man, what an amazing job. What an amazing calling you have on your life. But Matt, we've been able to see some amazing things happen in our middle schools over the years. Kind of give us some things you've learned over the past couple of years doing it.
For sure. I've learned a lot because you have to when you're dealing with middle school students.
Yes, this is true.
If you're not learning, I don't know what you're doing. But a couple things immediately pop into my mind. You know, middle school students, it's a funny age to actually reach. And if you don't keep a couple key things in mind, you may get lost in how to do it or even why you do it. One of the most important things, it revolves around authenticity.
Totally.
You know, in authenticity, you need to be more of yourself, not someone else. Mm-hmm. Because this is the thing with middle school students, they are always changing. It is such a fast, periodic move to where they're into this and then they care about this and then they're so crazy about this. And if you're not catching up with them, then you may fall back, but you have to be yourself.
Yeah, totally.
So when I walked onto campus, I'm not like the newest, trendiest dance guy. I'm not like doing all this sound. I'm not dancing. No, I'm not. Surprise you. Yeah. I'm not all over like SoundCloud rappers and stuff like that, which is it's all my middle school kids talk about them. But I wasn't trying to be something I wasn't.
I love that.
And for them, they understood that. They care more about who you are than what you know every time. So I always decided I'm just going to be who I am, and I'm just going to stay and just focus on just being a part of their lives. And they took that, and that changed their lives for that. The second one, something that I always have had to remind myself is consistency.
Yeah.
It's a long process, and the thing about consistency is that you have to show up even when you don't want to.
Totally.
Showing up with consistency even when you don't want to is huge, and that's really how you win in the long run, because it's a long process when it comes to middle school ministry and middle school students. A great story about this is when we first showed up to our middle school campus, Crystal Lake Middle School. Kids, and when I say this, I don't even exaggerate, kids wouldn't even crack a smile at us.
For sure.
Until the month of January, kids would not smile, they wouldn't dap me up. Some kids would never tell me their names. It was like weird like that. And then we showed up in January after Christmas break. It was about a couple weeks, and we came back. I remember walking into the cafeteria, and kids lost their minds when they saw the team. And they were yelling, like, "Where have you been? Where have you been?" And I was like, "It was Christmas break. Where have you guys been? Nobody was at school." And I remember one of the teachers walked up to me and saw the impact in the way the students were acting. Yeah. And she walked up to me and said, "Who are you?" And I was like, "My name's Matt. I do, the campus ministry at this school." And she said, "I've never seen those kids act like that towards anyone.
Wow.
Here's the microphone. Talk to them."
So good.
And in that moment, just remind me that it's a long process. You gotta play the long game.
And I think for that, something that would be huge for you guys to learn, if you guys can take away from this, I always challenge our youth leaders in this way. Kids have enough inconsistent people in their life, especially when you're trying to reach a school that has some issues, that has some kids that are growing up in single parent homes. That's why we make things matter, like leader attendance in our youth ministry. The reason why is, kids have enough inconsistent people in their world, and that's part of what we've been talking about throughout this series, that if you want to reach young people, you're making the decision to show up, just like Matt said, even when you don't feel like it. Because to do that, to really be a part of their life, they have to see you there before they'll ever trust you. And I think that's one thing our middle school team has taken years to build into a campus, right? What's something else, you guys have learned?
One thing we've learned is all about intentionality. What you say, what you do, it matters.
Yeah.
And a huge part of this, especially in the middle school world, is middle schoolers, and we see it in high school, unfortunately, but more prevalent in middle school, is kids show up to school and they get yelled at. Wow. They go home and they get yelled at. They go on social media and they get yelled at through social media, or they get, they bullied, or whatever the case may be. And what we see is all this negativity and negative reinforcement everywhere in their lives. So we decided when we walked into campus ministry, we will only speak positive. Yeah. And even if a student is acting crazy, or even a student isn't listening or isn't giving us the respect, we decide it's no negativity, it's only positive reinforcement. So instead of a kid's talking during a message, we don't say, hey, be quiet. That is not our language. Instead, we say, we first compliment. We always compliment. We say, hey, bro, those are sick Jordans. Like, oh my gosh, those are 11s? Bro, how'd you get those? Oh, I got them for Christmas. That's awesome. What a great Christmas gift. And then we say, hey, man, that guy's talking. Maybe we should like listen to what he says. I think what he's saying is pretty important. And then because you built this positivity and you make the student feel great about themselves, they go, yeah, I will listen to them. And we've seen it work every single time. And we just set out our goal when we started. And this is a big thing when it comes to middle school ministry because of how fast it is and how crazy it gets. You can never lose the vision of why you started. We started campus ministry on the middle school campus to create a positive, encouraging environment. When students leave, they feel more loved and more confident about themselves. And we never want to divert from that one mission. But those three things, I think: authenticity, be more of yourself, not anyone else. It's consistency, show up even when you don't want to, and intentionality. I think those three things are so important for us to grab onto, especially doing middle school ministry.
Definitely. And I think for you guys out there that either you are a middle school pastor or you do high school and middle school like our youth ministry is, I would just encourage you, man. We've seen so many cool things happen in middle school. I just tell youth pastors all the time, and I tell our leaders all the time that do middle school ministry, you guys are heroes, man. But all we've seen as you look at statistics, even just in the 10 years that I've been serving in youth ministry, is that kids are making decisions that affect their life for the rest of their life at a younger and younger and younger age. And I think that one thing that I really think God has done through our middle school campus ministries is just change that mindset in our youth ministry of like, man, these kids are awesome. These kids, they're crazy. They might smell a little bit weird, but all that fun stuff, they might be a little bit awkward, but they're kids that need Jesus. They're kids that God loves immensely. And so that's really what I would encourage you in. Next part of our campus ministry series, this basic series for part 5, we're going to be taking some time to talk about some of the pitfalls, some of the things that we've had to learn the hard way in doing campus ministry over the years. So I hope you join us for that.